Hello students, welcome to Doctor's Academy. So far we have discussed the computation of various heads of income and the arrival of gross total income. If all the heads of income computed as per the relevant provisions of this act and added together or clubbed together, it is said to be gross total income. From the gross total income, if we apply the various deductions, eligible deductions, under section 80C to 80U, we will be getting total income. So in this video, we are trying to explain what are the deductions possible for different categories of assessees. So welcome back to Doctor's Academy. The general principles for deduction from incomes are, as I said, section 80C to 80U, and the conditions are the total deductions shall not exceed the gross total income. Deduction in respect of an item will be allowed only 1 point. At multiple points for a single item, deduction would not be entertained. The assessee has to make claim for deduction, otherwise it will not be allowed. So the assessee has to claim for the deduction if he is eligible. Now the persons entitled to various types of deductions that we will discuss. First one is the deduction eligible for only for individuals. Section 80 CCC, CCD, 80E, 80EE, 80GG, 80QQB, 80 RRB, 80 TTB and 80U are the sections eligible only in the case of individuals. Then only for individuals as well as Hindu undivided family type of assessee. 80C, 80CCF, 80D, 80DD, 80DDB, 80TTA. Now the deductions which are entitled for only for company form of organization. 80GGB, 80IA, 80LA and 80PA are the four sections or four deductions eligible only in the case of company form of organization. Then there are certain deductions which are eligible across the different types of assessees. One is 80G, 80GGA, 80GGC, 80IA, 80IAB, 80IB, 80IC, 80IE, 80JJA, 80JJAA. Now let us discuss the each sections in detail with respect to different types of assessees. First, let us see what is section 80C and who is eligible for the same. This deduction as per section 80C is eligible in the case of an individual or a Hindu undivided family who has payment made towards life insurance premium and has made contribution towards provident fund, etc. Applicability of section 80C in the case of an individual. Point 1 says, any sum paid or deposited in the previous year by an individual to effect or keep in force an insurance on the life of self, spouse or his or her child, the qualifying amount of any premium or other payment made on an insurance policy issued on or before 1st April 2012 other than contract for a deferred annuity shall not exceed 20% of the actual capital sum assured. Point 2. The qualifying amount of life insurance premium on an insurance policy insured on or after 1st April 2012 shall not exceed 10% of the actual capital sum assured. Third point, the qualifying amount of life insurance premium on an insurance policy issued on or after 1st April 2013 shall not exceed 15% of the actual capital sum assured if it is on the life of a person who is a person with a disability or a person with a severe disability or suffering from disease or ailment specified under section 80 DDB. Point 2 says, to effect or to keep in force a contract of annuity, not being an annuity plan referred to in item 12, on the life of self, spouse, or his or her child, provided that such a contract does not contain a provision for the exercise by the insured of an option to receive a cash payment in lieu of the payment of the annuity. Third point, by way of deduction from the salary payable by or on behalf of the government to any individual, being a sum deducted in accordance with the conditions of his service for the purpose of securing to him a deferred annuity or making provision for his wife or children in so far as the sum so deducted does not exceed 1/5 of his salary. Next point says, as a contribution by the individual to any provident fund to which the Provident Fund Act 1925 applies. Fifth point, as a contribution to public provident fund, where such a contribution is to an account standing in the name of self, spouse, or his or her child, as a contribution by the employee to a recognized provident fund, as a contribution by an employee to an approved superannuation fund, as a contribution to any such security of the central government, or as a subscription to any such security of the central government or any such deposit scheme as that government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify in this behalf, as a subscription to any such savings certificate as defined in clause C of section 2 of the Government Savings Certificate Act 1959, as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify in this behalf. NSE 8th issue and 9th issue have been notified. As a contribution in the name of self, spouse, or his or her child for participation in the Unit Linked Insurance Plan 1971 of the Unit Trust of India. As a contribution in the name of self, spouse, or his or her child for participation in any such unit linked insurance plan of the LIC mutual fund referred to in section 1023D, as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify in this behalf. Sum paid to effect or to keep in force a contract for such annuity plan of LIC of India or any other insurer as the central government may notify. Sum paid as subscription to any unit of mutual fund or for the administrator or specified company under any plan formulated in accordance with such scheme as the central government may notify. Sum paid as contribution by an individual to any pension fund set up by any mutual fund or by the administrator or specified company as the central government may notify. The Unit Trust of India Retirement Benefit Pension Fund has been notified. HDFC Retirement Savings Fund also has been notified. As subscription to any such deposit scheme or as a contribution to any such a pension fund set up by the National Housing Bank, as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify in this behalf. Next, as subscription to any such deposit scheme of a public sector company which is engaged in providing long-term finance for the construction or purchase of houses in India for residential purpose, or any statutory authority formed for satisfying the need of housing accommodation or for planning and development of cities, towns, or villages, or for both, as the central government may notify in this behalf. 17th point. Tuition fee, excluding any payment towards any development fees or donations or payment of similar nature paid at the time of admission or thereafter to any university, college, school, or other educational institution situated within India for the purpose of full-time education of his two children. For the purpose of purchase or construction of a residential house property, the income from which is chargeable to tax under the head income from house property, or which would, if it had not been used for the assessee's own residence, have been chargeable to tax under that head where such payment is made towards or by way of any installment or part payment of the amount due under any self-financing or other scheme of any development authority, housing board, or other authority engaged in the construction and the sale of house property on ownership basis, or any installment or part payment of the amount due to any company or cooperative society of which the assessee is a shareholder or member towards the cost of the house property allotted to him, or repayment of the amount borrowed by the assessee from the central government or any state government, any bank including cooperative bank, the life insurance corporation, the National Housing Bank, any public company formed and registered in India within the main objective of carrying on the business of providing long-term finance for construction or purchase of house in India for residential purpose, which is eligible for deduction under section 36 subsection 1 clause 8, or any company in which the publics are substantially interested, or any cooperative society where such company or a cooperative society is engaged in the business of financing the construction of houses, or the assessee's employer where such employer is a public company or a public sector company or a university established by law, or a college affiliated to such university, or a local authority or a cooperative society, or the assessee's employer where such employer is an authority or a board or a corporation or any other body established or constructed under a central or state act, or stamp duty, registration, and other expenses for the purpose of transfer of such house property to the assessee, but it shall not include any payment towards or by way of the admission fee, cost of share and initial deposit which a shareholder of the company or a member of a cooperative society has to pay for becoming such shareholder or member, the cost of any addition or alteration to or renovation or repair of the house property which is carried out after the issue of the completion certificate in respect of the house property by the authority competent to issue such certificate, or after the house property or any part thereof has either been occupied by the assessee or any other person on his behalf, or been let out, or any expenditure in respect of which deduction is allowable under the provisions of section 24. Point 19 is sum paid as subscription to equity shares or debentures of a public company or a public financial institution forming part of any eligible issue of capital approved by the board. 20th point is sum paid as subscription to any unit approved by the board of any mutual fund, provided the subscription to these units is subscribed only in the eligible issue of capital of any company. 21st, interest due on the National Savings Certificate 8th issue and 9th issue. The term deposit for a fixed period not less than 5 years with a scheduled bank in accordance with the scheme framed and notified by the central government. Next is, as subscription to such bonds issued by the National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development as the central government may notify. Next is deposit in 5-year post office time deposit account. Then deposit in Senior Citizen Savings Scheme 2004. Deposit in Sukanya Samriddhi account and employees' contribution towards Tier 2 account of the pension scheme for a fixed period of not less than 3 years with effect from the assessment year 2020-21. If the employees deposit more than 10% of his salary in the pension scheme, the excess is credited in a separate account. This account is known as Tier 2 account. Section 80C, applicability towards Hindu undivided family. The deduction shall be allowed in respect of the following sums paid during the previous year by a Hindu undivided family shall be eligible for deduction under Section 80C. Point 1 is premium paid for insurance on the life of any member of the family. Point 2, contribution given to public provident fund in the name of any member of the family. Third point, subscription to the notified securities of the central government or a notified deposit scheme. Fourth point, contribution for participation in the unit linked insurance plan 1971 of the UTI. Fifth point, contribution for participation in notified ULIP of the life insurance mutual fund. Sum paid to effect or to keep in force a contract for such annuity plan of LIC of India or any other insurer as the central government may notify. Seventh point, sum paid as subscription to any unit of mutual fund or from the administrator or specified company under any plan formulated in accordance with such scheme as the central government may notify. Eighth point, sum paid to a notified deposit scheme or pension fund set up by the National Housing Bank. Next, subscription to notified deposit scheme of a public sector company which is engaged in providing long-term finance for construction or purchase of houses for residential purposes. Any statutory authority formed for satisfying the need of housing accommodation or for planning and development of cities, towns or villages or for both. Next, payment of installment under self-financing scheme or of installment to a company or a cooperative society or for repayment of loan taken for the purpose of purchase or construction of a residential house. Next, subscription to eligible issue of capital by a company registered in India or a public financial institution. 12th point, subscription to any mutual fund provided the fund utilizes the amount of subscription to subscribe the eligible issue of capital of any company. The term deposit for fixed period of not less than 5 years with a scheduled bank in accordance with the scheme framed and notified by the central government. Next is subscription to such bonds issued by the National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development as notified by the central government. Next is deposit in 5-year post office time deposit account. So dear friends, these are the various items that would be eligible for deducting under section 80C for the assessee individual as well as the case of Hindu undivided family. Let us work out a problem in this area in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.